This is Akil Rose from Clergy for Minority Youth Matters movement at the UN today. And we're here talking to the Grandmaster, Herman Smalls, expert in physical education, but also spiritual consultant when it comes to taking the human body and the human mind and putting it into the best that it possibly can be. Mr. Smalls, what I want to ask you today, what part do you think that the clergy, whether Islamic, Christian, Jewish, or other, plays within the community in terms of black economics? Can you kind of give me an opinion about what you think about that, about black empowerment?
Yeah, that's an interesting connection, because usually people don't connect spirituality with economics, because economics tend to be material, financial, but the two are very much linked. The revenue, your income, the things that you put your blood, sweat, and tears to acquire, to keep yourself housed, to keep your family fed. That's very committed, and even a spiritual quest when you're trying to make the most of your surroundings. So with that as an impetus, you have to look at what spirituality does. Spirituality keeps you morally upright. You know, being punctual is I think, spiritual. Keeping your word is spiritual. Honoring your service, if you have a service industry, or if you're just an individual who works in labor, having pride in your labor, doing your best. All of those tap into a spiritual base. So I think the clergy, a true clergy, irrespective of the belief system, has to be pulling from that. They have to be standing upright. And the members of their congregation have to be upright as well when they have a leader that's letting them know your word, being on time, doing your best. So all principles that will bring you revenue and keep you spiritually upright as a follower of whatever that belief system is.
Well, that's wonderful. I want to ask you this here then. So you're saying that the clergy, being in a position of a leader, he should guide his flock towards the best that will empower themselves. Well, as a people here in the United States, we spent $1.3 trillion in 2014 as consumers. And if we were an independent nation, we'd be number 14th in the world. Now, with that being known, what responsibility does a preacher have in terms of asking more of his people in terms of collaborative economics, or GEMA, collective work in economics? You know, Kwanzaa's coming up. Also, at the same token, and when I asked the question about making corporations responsible for discrimination that we spend money with, such as maybe Comcast or maybe NASCAR and things, these big national corporations that we spend plenty of money with, are either...
Now that question of meandering, what are you going to do? You got me confused. Which question are you going to ask me now, black man?
About the economics, because it's all economical.
Right.
See, the spiritual is one part,
right, but
the main part is about hitting them in their pockets and about us increasing our pockets.
We take it, but I don't want to get too lost. Now, the first thing you mentioned was the clergy. So, a lot of folks don't know, Martin Luther King, they say that I have a dream speech that constantly uplifted. He had a speech that I just heard maybe 5 years ago, where he was asking his followers, so, hey, you heard of a black bank? Take your money, put it in that black bank.
There you go. He
was telling them to direct their finances.
That's right.
But you don't hear that speech. They don't ever want us to get control of one of the most powerful things we have in a capitalist system. That's that dollar that we work for.
That's right.
Everybody gets rich on us. They set up in our communities. They sell us clothes, hair products. They sell us everything, cars, whatever. They get rich on it. If we ever generate that back towards us, so I'm hoping that was where you were going. So if the clergy has a role in that, they need to represent, like Dr. King said, put your money in the black bank. Get in a black insurance company. Get a black attorney. Give our money to ourselves in all of our problems. We won't even need to be picking nobody, begging nobody for nothing. We'll be self-sufficient.
That's right. Well, Brother Smile, I think you hit it right on the nose. That's what I'm looking for.
Excellent.
Some concrete examples that we can practice, that not just intellectualism or just kumbaya, but that we can actually do in practice, and we can see the growth in the bank. Well, I want to thank you again, and I'm glad to see you down there at the UN. You are a person that are always, you're on the bricks from Harlem and Brooklyn to at the UN, representing not only the black people, but also representing what you represent, which is health.
Yes.
And that's a good thing.
Thank you, Brother Akil. You are a pillar in the community. You always uplift, mold, and motivate with your actions, your words, and you're an inspiration to many. Thank you for continuing to do the great work you do.
Well, thank you so much, brother, and God bless you.
Peace.
Peace and success.
Peace.